All right, I am back. We are still in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So, at the time of this filming, this book is available on Amazon, and I believe you can special order it at Barnes and Noble and a couple of other places. So, anyway, we worked on this orangey, red orange mushroom last time, and now we're going to work on this one. If you missed it within the last couple weeks, I went through how to pick colors and picking all the colors for this page and everything, so you can go back and catch that. Now today I am still using my Crayola pencils, and I am using Turquoise as my light, Absolute Zero as my medium, and Green Blue as my dark. And we are going to blow this up a little for you. Now remember, after I color for you, I will generally go back in and do some more blending and possibly even another layer of color. So don't think that what you see here is necessarily what I finish with. And we already know that this color is going to be good for this area because we talked about the color wheel. I guess it's been about a week ago for y'all. And we went over how to pick colors, and colors across from each other on the color wheel are always going to go well together. Red and green are across from each other, and that's Christmas colors. Okay. Ball teams, football teams, baseball teams, if you look at some of those colors that really go well together, a lot of those are really across from each other on the color wheel. Your purple and yellow, your red and green, your orange and blue. And here I'm picking up an red orange or orange red and some teals or turquoise. So, and I really like the color wheel that I showed you in that video. It just really works well for me because I can lay it over the top of the picture and see what shade it really is. So if you missed that, go back and catch that. You can even just put in Pam Proctor color wheel and it will probably pop up. And at the time of this video, it is still a current item on Amazon, eBay. Where I like to get mine though, Joann Fabric. You can, it's a sewing notion in the quilting area at my Joann's. Well, at all three of my Joann's. I have 3 within driving distance. So I wait till they're like 50% off or use a coupon and get it there, and it's so much cheaper than any of the other places that I had named. I would love if anybody ever has one they want to send me. Somebody said once that they had seen the color wheel. Okay, it's this one, y'all. See, I keep it close by. Rainbow. Okay, if anybody ever sees one of these with the holes and you want to gift it to me, I would love to have, I think there's one that's like this big, but I've never seen it in person. So, but yeah, I'd love to have a big one. I would hang it on my wall in here and be able to use it just whenever. So, seems the older I get with my eyes, the bigger the better. And so that's why I'm saying one of those color wheels would be nice. So, all right, I'm still in my turquoise, and I'm going to go ahead. When I colored last time, I did it in sections because I wasn't sure what I was going to color where. This time I know that this entire mushroom is going to be in these colors. So I'm going to go ahead and just do all of the light areas with this first color. And again, this is turquoise. Now, part of the fun, the help, whatever, of using YouTube as my platform for this is that you can pause it and rewatch it. So if you miss the colors, just go back to the first. I'll tell you what they are and you can write them down. Also, even if you're not doing this picture, but if you have this brand of pencil and you're thinking what Crayola colors go well together, well, then you can write that down and keep that in your notes. It just makes it easier later if you have a hard time picking colors. Okay, we know by looking at this page that on the color wheel, it's going to tell us that purple, yellow, turquoisey teals, and the red orange look good together. And that's because they're across from each other on the color wheel. Color wheels can be very, very handy if you have a hard time picking which colors would look good where. So I did not really have color theory in college. I had art history, but I'll be John Brown if I remember anything from art history. I really don't. I know. Sorry, Donna, my mentor and teacher would cringe, but I just have so much room in my little brain, and art history was not one of the things that made a big impact on me. So, all right, so I'm going to call that it right now with the turquoise, and I'm going to move over to absolute zero. Okay, absolute zero. One of the problems with this pencil is it doesn't always show up as a different color on different papers. So, see, like I've just colored a bunch there, and you can't really tell a whole lot. But I am going to do it because it does show up some, and it will help me to blend my next shade that I'm going to use. Because that last color that I picked is very, very dark. And it's going to take some to blend in. I think this pencil just feels firmer. The lead feels harder. And you get that with some pencils. Some pencils you're going to get that firmer feel because the pigments in them are a little bit different. And that's just the nature of the beast. As far as I know, it's that way with most all companies. So you'll find that some pencil colors across the board are softer than others. So try it sometime. Get your pencils out and try a couple of reds and see if they feel the same as maybe a couple of yellows, or if they feel the same as maybe your blues. You know, just try some different colors and see what happens. I really know there is that difference, and I am almost sure it's because of the amount of pigment that's used in the pencils. Because I'm really putting down quite a bit of pressure on here. I don't know if you can hear it, but I am really going at it. And then with the next pencil, I'm going to have to do real light pressure so that it doesn't just take over. And you'll see when I get to it. You'll see what I'm talking about. I do think I'm going to come all the way up to this line. But yeah, not all pencil brands are the same as the others. If they were, we wouldn't have all the different brands we have. Yeah, this Absolute Zero is not a favorite. You can tell it's longer because I've not used it as much. I'm just blending in. You can see I'm going wide and then I get more narrow as I come up. It's just the technique I'm using in this one. Now I'm going to do the same thing here coming down. There, that's showing you how it really is a little bit darker. But I think it's also going over the dark that's up here, and that's why it's actually showing up better for you. And then I'll come back over the entire piece with that very first pencil. I believe it was Turquoise, and I'll blend with it. That'll help add more color down on the page instead of using a blender and just scooting it around. All right, so now I'm going to take that last color, the green blue, and I'm going to start somewhere here where it's dark so I can see how dark this is going to lay down on this paper. And it is going to be pretty dark. So after coloring so heavy with the last one, I'm going to really lighten up my pressure. Not hit the paper near as hard. Okay. So this is a point where an artist putting some darker areas on the page is really helping when I color, because it's showing exactly where we should be adding that darkest color. And I know a lot of you that are beginners still need that. You're just not quite sure of yourself, and that's fine. That's one reason I make the videos. But see how that color is just scooting in there, just adding some depth. And every now and then I do take that full length up those lines just to add more depth and texture. And then I'm going to do it here in the corner. And I've added enough of that other color that this color's not going down as hard here, so that's good. But see, just by coming down this side and then fading out, it tucks that and makes it look more rounded. Also, see there's a line coming down through here, so I'm going to go behind that line and see how it's pushing this to the back. Okay, and then I'm going to come through here and just scoot a little bit of color down in these V's. I don't want to overdo it, but By doing a dark color at the base of an object, it's going to help anchor that base so that it doesn't look like it's floating. I don't know how many of you have done letters. Any page where you color the words in, if you'll do a little bit of dark at the base of each letter, it will help anchor that letter and make it appear to where it's not floating across the page. And I've got some old lessons on that somewhere on YouTube. Again, if you thumbs up, like my channel, follow, you can get notified when I post new videos, and it'll also be easier for you to go back through my older videos and see what you might have missed. Okay? So now I'm just going to hit along the top of this line, and what that's going to do is raise that. It's going to make this appear raised just a little, like when you do the edge of a pie crust and it flips up. And then I'm just going to fade out as I come up from that. Okay, just go ahead and get that dark in there. Don't be afraid of it. Little at a time. Don't go too dark too quick, but do your darks dark enough that it makes your lighter areas really appear light. Okay? Almost finished with this little guy. Got to come back in and blend yet with my lightest shade. But you can see why I like these blues together. I'm recovering pillows in our living room. We have a brown couch, then let's see, we've got a couch, love seat, and chair and a half in the living room, along with 2 recliners. We have a nice sized living room. And the pillows are brown and orangey stripe. And then the big ones are. And then the smaller pillows have leaves on them that coordinate color-wise. And we were just tired of the dark. So we actually got some fabric that has some of the browns in it, but has this bright tealy colored flower. And so it's really going to make the living room brighter and pop a little more. Just to say that when you use brighter colors, it will cause that pop. And our front door opens right into that room. And so I've actually already got the paint. And eventually I'm going to sand and repaint that front door in the same color that's in the flower on the couch. So it'll be a good transition coming from the outside in. Yeah, right now it's just I think it's green. It's the same colors when we moved in like 20 years ago. So it's time for a fresh coat of paint on that anyway. So we thought, oh, we'll just change it as we do it. So just going over the top of everything with this color. There's still a lot of tooth in here. You can see all the white there. Well, there's a lot of it up here too. Can you see all the bits in there? Let me swing this light around because I know there are some shadows. Let's see, does that help you at all? Yeah, you can see all that. There's just little bit white bits in here everywhere. So I'm just ironing out those pieces on the paper, getting rid of the tooth in the paper. Yeah, paper is not smooth. Even if it feels really smooth to the touch, there are still divots and ripples in paper. And so the more you color, the harder you press, the more you're going to get rid of all those little divots, all the little white pieces. And yes, I'm shaking my table. But you can see the difference in this and this, just with the light on it. So I'm just going to continue doing this. You can see the difference even just right there, how I'm really putting pressure on and getting rid of that white. Now there are times I like to leave it, okay? If I'm doing something and I need it really lighter in the middle for some reason, then I will leave it. But this time, I'm trying to just get that all colored. I like it better darker this time. Now, something else you can do if you have a hard time getting all those divots out. See, I've been coloring this way. I can turn and start coloring this way. See the difference in this and this? Can you tell? And just going a different direction, it's like cross-hatching. And it just gets everything it missed the first time. And then if you find out that your darks aren't dark enough, you can always go back in and add some more dark. Okay? So I'm not sure what picture I'm going to move to next, but I will do another picture probably this afternoon and go ahead and get it in the queue for you before we take our little 2 or 3 day trip to Galveston, just so that you've got something to do while I'm gone. But anyway, and then when we pull back, you can see how I said those two colors would end up going fine together. And they do, because they're opposite each other on the color wheel. Okay, the black arrows, they're opposite each other. So that's how we knew that that would work out fine. Okay, all right, I don't know anything else. This is looking nice, and I'll pick another page and be back in a few days. Okay, bye.